Now that we have a better idea of how we can keep our overall proportions and pose consistent, let's talk about how to interpret some of those internal details. It can be a bit of a challenge when you first begin trying to translate your concept to a reverse view. You must begin by thinking in reverse, by looking at how the 3D forms of the character sit in space and translating those forms 180 degrees. To make this a little easier, I find that it's helpful to think in basic 3D forms. Take a moment to study your character concept drawing and try to mentally reduce it to simple cubes and cylinders in 3D space. This example on the left represents the arm shape in 3D space of our dwarf hero. From the front view, you can see that the upper arm, in green, has been reduced to a cylinder shape which is tilted towards the viewer and recedes back in space as it meets the lower arm, in orange, at the elbow. From there, the lower arm changes directions and comes forward in space towards the camera once again. This spatial direction change is also reflected in the corresponding arrows. If we are thinking in reverse, we want to reverse all the three-dimensional movement that we had in the front view for the back view. Notice that from the back, the upper arm in green is now tilted away from us and is now coming forward towards the viewer in space to meet the lower arm. From the elbow, the lower arm now recedes in space, going away from us. Again, the opposite of the front view. Also notice how the ellipses are also consistent through each view. The only thing that changes is what side of the ellipse represents the side of the cylinder facing the camera. On the right is another example of body forms in 3D space. This time we have basic shapes representing a torso and a head. This example also vaguely represents our dwarf hero, as he is slightly hunched forward in his pose. Once again, we can reduce the form down to a simple cylinder and get our basic shape if needed, as seen in the small cylinders beside each body form. However, we are going to make our forms a bit more accurate to the body forms of our character, including the chest, shoulders, and rib cage in green, the hips in orange, and the head as a blue sphere. In our front view, we see that the torso and hips are tilted forward, towards the viewer, with the top plane of the chest shape visible, and the ball of the head sitting in front of the body. This shows the posture and body position of the character as he leans towards the viewer. Once again, as we rotate these same 3D forms in space, notice how everything reverses. Now the upper torso and head are tilted away from us, and we can now see the underside of the hip box. The top plane of the shoulders is now facing the opposite direction, away from the viewer, and is no longer facing us as it is hidden behind the mass of the body. Even the head ball is partially hidden behind the torso in this view. Both of these examples show how to correctly use one view to translate the 3D forms 180 degrees in space. And notice that the silhouettes of both the front and back views in each of these examples remains exactly the same, only they have been flipped horizontally. This way of thinking in reverse may take some time to get used to, but practicing these principles can help you not only improve your ability to create character turnaround sheets, but can also help you develop the ability to more accurately draw forms in 3D space without exact reference or even from your imagination in a multitude of positions and camera angles. At this point, we have covered what a turnaround sheet is and the key elements we need to show, including a front and back view, a side view if necessary, as well as any important callout elements. Keep in mind that we have already explored a small thumbnail version of the back of our character design. Make sure you reference it regularly to keep the design consistent through the whole process. So let's dig in.